even the story itself is so complicated. But when I look at it, I just wanted to look at this story because it's a story that is becoming common, more and more common. Okay, how can we be able to prevent it? How can we be able as a society to make it better? Everyone, welcome to Karaoke Moments. As our friends, subscribers, and followers, we want to be discussing today about a sad story that is going on the internet. It is about two ladies who were killed by a man in Nigeria. And the story has been breaking the internet this week because these two ladies got lost a month ago in April. And it's a story that after this time, it is when people have gotten to know some parts of the story. And I decided to bring it to us to just be having our conversations. As you know, in Karaoke Moments, our conversations are usually around life. That is why we normally say it's life conversations. And we say life is a journey, you walk in it. Because there are things that happen in life and we need to stop, pause, and find out where we are, what could be made better. And today we're going to be discussing about these two ladies. These two ladies seemingly are young adults between 20 and 30 years. And you can see pretty, they're young girls. The one is Nigerian, she's called Celine. And the other one is her friend, who is Ghanaian and who is married, she's called Afiba. Then there's a gentleman called Andrew, who is 51 years old. So the story goes that Celine, who is Nigerian, they met with Andrew on Facebook. They've been having discussions and talking. So there was that hookup, online hookup, and they continued discussing. And since both of them are in Nigeria, and during this day, she called her friend who is Ghanaian. She's called Afiba. And the story goes that Afiba is married. So Afiba went down from Ghana to Nigeria and was going to meet the friend Celine. Story is also going that she had said she was going to attend a wedding in Ghana. Remember, this is in Nigeria, this Ghana lady called Afiba. So I want to believe she told the husband she was going to Nigeria for a wedding of their friend. So met with Celine. And Celine, she had a hookup with the friend who they met online, who is, if you look at it, it's like double age. He's 51 years. So this gentleman is called Andrew. I just want to give the name so that we can try to follow the trend and the story. The Nigerian and the Ghanaian lady, there were some messages that were exchanged and there was going to be a hookup. And this hookup, they had even negotiated on the money they were going to be paid by Andrew, the man in the picture. And it was discussed to be 1 million naira. And the 1 million naira, according to the current exchange rate, it's like around 500 pounds. And Kenya shillings, it's around 90,000 Kenya shillings for that hookup for that evening. All right. So these girls, they went, they met with Andrew, and they were taken out. Now, what do we know so far about Andrew? So far, what we know about Andrew at this point of the story, Andrew is a Nigerian who is a holder of British citizenship. He lives here in the UK. But like 3 years ago, he committed felony. He raped a woman here in UK in an area called Milton Keynes. And he decided to go back to Nigeria. So he's being sought for here in Nigeria, here in UK. So he went back to Nigeria and he's known to be a wealthy businessman. That's the story that is known. So anyway, he could afford 1 million nairas. The deal was struck online because messages have surfaced from the phones they discussed. So the two girls, the married Ghanaian, Afiba, and the Nigerian, Celine, they met the man. They went out. Actually, even Afiba and the girl, Celine, they shared on the meals and in their Instagrams and in their social media handles the good meals they were eating and how they were enjoying and living big and having life and living big. And then people have decided to also even go through Andrew's social media handles and see his life. Yeah. So photos have come up and videos of him doing his videos with other girls, introducing them on videos, saying this is so and so. We are getting ready to eat. You could see his lavish kind of a style of living. So that one goes. We are back to Celine and Afiba. They meet this man ready for their date. And as they were talking, as they went out, they had their date. So that is peripherally what is known at that time because they met and they went out. So these girls, they went missing until this week now when one of the girls' body was found near the house of Andrew. And this is in Abia State in Nigeria. So it was found near his house because now when a report was reported that the two girls were missing, there was word out there, anybody who would find any suspected body, which is not claimed anywhere, to report definitely to the police. So the word came out around that there's a body of a woman, which is parts of the bodies are disembarked, like they are not together. The head, the hands, the legs were missing and everything. So the body was identified to be for one of the girls. Okay. So story went ahead. Andrew now came into the picture, I think, of the last person who was seen with the girls. And remember, it's near his house and he was arrested. He was going to be transferred from Abia State to Abuja now for the story to go on. Then there's a version that he says on his way there, he jumped from the car and he was shot. But also the storyline that is going, they're not very sure about it, whether he was shot or not. And that is not really, really like the purpose of this video. There, what we can try to get a lesson from there is the complications. I think the more you live a complicated life, the more it will complicate, even the story itself is so complicated. But when I look at it, I just wanted to look at this story because it's a story that is becoming common, more and more common. Okay. How can we be able to prevent it? How can we be able as a society to make it better? And my story in this case is going to even the young girls because they're becoming more and more vulnerable. What is happening? Because if you look at it, these two girls, if we look at it, one is even married. Yes. She told the husband from Ghana to Nigeria, most probably, I want to believe she flew in. And the husband, maybe with good intention, gave her permission to go and attend a friend's wedding because she's pretty young, if you can see even from the photos. So went to attend the wedding and look at what has happened. They went to a hookup and they were going, both of them girls. This is also something else that if you look at it, they were going for that hookup. You see how misfortunes follow. So back at home, the husband, maybe even who paid for the ticket, giving the permission to the wife. When she goes, she's not even going for the intention that the planning of the trip was allowed. Look at the stressful moments that she's going to, by extent, the husband is going to suffer from. I don't know whether they have children or not, but you can imagine there's an aunt, there's an uncle, there's a brother, there's a sister, there are parents involved. What is seen in darkness will for sure one day come into the light. No wonder the Bible says, sin will always find out someone. You might hide, you might delay. Maybe even it wasn't our first time, God forbid, I do not know. But what I know is if I look at that, sin will always find someone out. So she goes all the way to Nigeria, and what she's going for is not even for the permission given by the husband, okay? So this other young girl, she's now on a hookup. And what is amazing is these hookups that are happening, because it's not the first time, there's a lot of immorality and naivety sometimes, because Now, two girls were going to meet one man. I don't know how it was going to happen. Yes, we know there are, at times you hear there is some group orgies, sexual orgies that are happening. Like you hear there are two women or three women with one man. Sometimes I've had even six women with one man. I want us to pause at that as a story of me and animals. I love wild animals. I love domestic animals. Generally, I love animals. Every time I hear such things, I think, okay, in the animal kingdom, I've not seen any one male animal having six women at a go. Now you can imagine when we say, oh, human beings have become like animals. No, this is where I feel like I also want to stand for animals. No, I think we have fallen short, like lower than the animals, because the things that are being done are really crazy. Look at even this man. This man is the age of this girl's age, dad. He's meant to be, because if he's 51. If the girls, for example, I don't have their actual age, you forgive me for that, but the stories are on the online, everybody can follow. But let's assume they are 25. So it means this guy, this man, Andrew, is older by 26 years, isn't it? Then that's a man who is qualified to be the dad of Celine and Afiba. What happened to also such a man being their counsel and being their guide? And that's why I don't want us to talk about the man yet. Let's finish with the girls. So these girls, if you look at it, we need to help our girls to have values. What kind of friends are they keeping? And that is why I am a believer. When a family is running together with their children, father, mother, and children should not feel like it's a big task to introduce their friends to their parents. And even parents, God help us, to also be able to want to be involved in our children's life and even to know their friends. Because when you say, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are, it is true. It's an old adage, but it has helped. Because remember, these parents, they've been where you are. Sometimes, let me talk to the young ones. I like the way they forget that even us who are mature, 40, 50 years, we were at some point 10, 15, 20, 30. What they are going through, their parents went through. So when your parent or your mom or your dad is telling you, hey, son, this company you're keeping is dangerous. Or, hey, daughter, the way nowadays you're keeping your friends, or how you're going, or these friends when they visited, because we should let their children, our children, their friends to visit us, and also our children to go and visit them, because there's something you might not see from your daughter or your son, because you know you love them, you might not be wanting to believe, and another parent will even give you a heads up and tell you, hey, the way I heard your daughter talking or the way I saw her behaving, I think there's a problem. And you'll know how to approach it as a mother or as a dad. Or even maybe you will be able also to give another parent heads up and be able to tell them, when your daughter visited my house, or when I saw them in school when we went for games, I heard her saying this, or I saw her doing this, watch her. And as a parent, you'll be able to. So the friends, the young people you keep, are really going to be part of your morality. You need to watch out the friends you're keeping. Because, for example, this girl who is coming all the way from Ghana to Nigeria, what value system was she having with this girl? Unless it's of the same. Because if even that day, when that hookup was planned by the friend, if she had her morals intact, she should have said, no, Celine, this is not we are supposed to do. We are not supposed to agree, because there's no gun that was put on her throat. We don't hear anything that was meant. So she was meant to have said no, unless they were hanging out together. Maybe even Celine could have gone also to Ghana. There must have been maybe very close friends. Do you know what? Maybe even the husband could have known Celine, and that is why she said, oh, you're going to visit Celine in Ghana, in Nigeria, then you can go. Because maybe as a husband, he was innocent. Maybe he didn't know. I'm just having deductions here. I don't know the story. But what I'm saying is, let us also, as young girls, be able to have friends who we can be able to have the same values. Another thing that I'm deducing from these stories, there's a lot of, I like when Nigeria say long throat, you know, even in Kenya we say shingo mrefu, you know, like it's having roving eyes, like you can never have enough. And what you've been given, it's not good enough. If you are bought for by your parents a certain dress, it's not good. You want the other one with the other person. You don't know even how they got it. The other girl, you don't know how they got that dress. Maybe that dress, they got it by going for same old men, or maybe selling drugs, or maybe stealing. You never know how they got it. So that is why contentment is a virtue. Be contented with what you have. And if you're not contented, the desires that you want to have, then work for it. Work for it. Which man will give you ₦1 million for free? I mean, has he helped all the other charitable organizations? Even you as a young girl, ask yourself, when you're going to eat, because there's a video I've seen, the Celine, the Nigerian girl, she was eating and licking herself, and it's only chips. Imagine, I want to believe if a girl, you want just to eat chips, your parents, they pay school fees. So chips is one of the 0 point something of monies that they can give you, and they love you. Just say, Daddy, Mommy, today I feel like just going out with my friend and we would like to eat at a cafeteria or at a restaurant. Please, can I have 10 pounds? Can I have maybe 2,000 naira or 10,000 or maybe 1,000 Kenya shillings, whatever money denominations that you use? They will give you. You'll go and eat your money. You are not harassed. Nobody will abuse you physically, sexually, emotionally, psychologically. No. In the evening, you go home safe. You have no worries. So as girls, we need to do that. Something else that I'm thinking about is when these girls also on the online meetings, because we are not saying online meetings are a devil 100%. But what we are saying is, whom have you told? Because most of these things are done in a lot of secrets. Don't meet people secretly. Meet people privately, as we always say in this channel, but not secretly. These girls, who else have you involved? Because if you have very good friends and you have maybe an auntie or your mom, open up to them. But also what should have been an eye arouser is this man who is 51 years, who is already agreeing to have a strike over 1 million to give. What is he giving you for? What business? What car are you selling? Or what piece of land? Or what are you selling to this man? Definitely, a man will be giving you this money with an extent at the far end of the line. You must pay back, and you'll pay back according to what he wants. Because even when we look at the many stories that are being tagged along Andrew, that man, 51-year-old, listen, he ran away from UK already from the tagline of raping a woman. So that's already a story in his blood. When you look at his videos, there's a lot of women and young girls. Yeah, you are wondering, why is he not even having then mature women? Ask yourself as a young girl. It's because a mature woman will question. But you young girl, because you're naive, you're bound to only look at the monies you're given, the food you're being given, but you're not remembering what you're going to end up paying with. Because, I'm sorry, we've even heard that he raped women in even the awkward places where he shouldn't. He was going on the rear side of a woman, the anal sexual experiences, they have said that. Then all the other misdemeanors that were being done, that is literally sexual abuse, which means emotionally this lady will also be abused because they'll end up feeling bad about it. Let me tell you, it might be seen as if at that minute they are not thinking about it. And also there'll be psychological aspect. Some of these girls, when these things happen, they become a wreck in the society. I've worked with the youths, and I know what it means. Some of them even will never desire to get married. Some of them become a wreck. They decide, after all, I've lost all my dignity. You find someone has become a prostitute. Some of them, even when they get married, they'll become wrecks. They'll not be good wives. So don't joke with it as if it's only a sexual escapade. It will affect you whether you like it or not. So as a girl, focus. If you're in school, focus on your education. If you want to have money, work for it. There's nothing as good as a woman having their money. And I think me, I'm a crusader of this. And it's something that I can say. A woman having your money, you're not myopic. There's no man's money that you'll feel that you want. You will see it as an asset to yourself. If you want to eat that chips, you'll go and sit down, eat chips, and you go home safely, clean. If you want to go for holiday, you book yourself a flight, you book yourself a hotel, you go, you stay there for 1 week, for 3 days, you are refreshed, you go back. Friends that you have who have the same values as you can say, okay, let's meet out for lunch. You go, you pay yourself lunch without feeling like it's only a man who can be able to pay for your bills. Pay for yourself bills, pay for yourself, even the outings that you want to go. Another thing, when you meet a stranger, there's nothing as dangerous as meeting in closed spaces. When you meet a man for the first time, even men, when you meet a woman for the first time in a room, most probably, as it is said, in moments of sexual excitement, the brains don't function very well. Only below the waist continues to function at that time, meaning you won't be very with it, you won't be very profound with your thoughts. Only after the action is when you'll be able to regret and say, I wish I didn't even go to meet this stranger in a room, because you'll find yourself, you have gone into temptations, into sexual activities that you had not planned. Meet these people in an area that is open, like in a park or in a restaurant, and then you bid each other as you continue to date them and to get to know them. Also, what is important is this age category. If you're an empowered woman, you should have, this Celine and Afiba should have asked this man, I mean, tell me about your family. Are you married? Yeah. How comes? Where do you work? What do you do? They should have questioned, and you'll find such a man will just melt and maybe nothing will happen. But because of the naivety, whatever is showing them in their life, they were not able to question. So as a girl, keep very respectable friends, valuable friends who can help you to walk in the right direction. Have self-respect and value. By the way, you will be addressed the way you dress yourself. If you show men that you're valueless, they'll make you valueless properly. If you help them see you're valuable, learn to show yourself your dignity. Tell them, I can't do this because I'm not married. My body belongs to me. It's a temple of God. I will not allow you. Few words, a man will not even know how to go forward. So unless these two girls were also of the caliber of Andrew, because if they had their value in the first place, can you imagine one is even leaving their husband to go by air or whichever way she did. Ghana is a different country from Nigeria. Travel all the way to meet a man, Andrew, with a contract. That contract is the one I'm saying. Then, unless they don't have values and they are keeping friends who cannot help, young ladies, leave older men alone. An old man most probably is there I say most probably, it's just there to use your body. Most of them, maybe even they're married, they'll tell you, oh, my wife is a stressor. That is why I want you. Every time I'm with you, I don't have stress. Let me tell you, let them marry you. You'll see the game changing, because marriage is a different ball game. So if they love their wife so much more than you, they should not be coming to you. And again, why do they come with you for only 1, 2, 3 nights and go back to the same stressor woman, to the same bad woman? They should be taking you forever. It's a lie. They shouldn't. Study. Endeavor to work hard. Earn your money. Be empowered. When you're empowered in all areas, financially, when you can be able to debate, question, emotionally, psychologically, most probably you're going to attract a man who is self-worth, a man who is worth the salt, not a man who is just passing by, but a man who knows whatever they are having, you are a valuable woman. Don't be desperate for love. By the way, love is not going anywhere. Even the so-called sexual intercourse. I remember one day I was having a youth group I was speaking to, and I told them, I remember they laughed, but I told them, do you know even your grandfather and your grandmother today, they still have sex? And I remember they laughed, they screamed. I said, yes. So there is no way you think that you're the one who is coming to invent sex. Sex has been there. There's nothing you're inventing. And that is why you should do it at the right time and at the right way. It's going nowhere. Marriage is going nowhere. Love is going nowhere. Do it at the right way so that you can be able to enjoy, so that you can be able to be valuable, and also to do it at the right and be able to face the consequences that come. Because sex before marriage will come with all the other issues. Maybe unprotected sex will definitely come with diseases, will come with babies. See now, young people, they've lost their lives. They've left their parents desperate. Maybe their parents had really pulled resources to put them into school. having a hope of having even grandchildren, life is gone. What a desperate way to die. Yeah, ladies, stick to your lane. And also you end up becoming pregnant and saying, oh, these men, they are not even coming. They are not taking care of their children. They are not taking care of their children. But you know, you took yourself there. When you take yourself there, this man was not contracted to be a father. Then they just wanted to have fun. You'll have heartbreaks of being a single parent. So for a man like Andrew, all I'm saying is, as a man, just think if it was your daughter, how would you feel? How would you feel when you're luring young girls? Let's have men also of impact, men who have morals, men who can say, no, if I want a woman, I want a woman who can be convinced because of who they are as an adult. Don't go to young girls. Why do you want a girl that you're only able to talk to them as a child? Talk to a mature man. A mature woman who can be able to even challenge you and even be able to direct you, discuss with you, advise you of area of finances, maybe of areas of that you're having not doing very well. They'll be able to tell you. My desire in this video is for justice to be done for the girls. As I'm saying, it is being said Andrew could be dead or not, but the intention of this video is to help girls to be focused. Be focused on your life. Get valuable friends. Respect yourself. Be valuable. Desire to have your own money. Don't desire to have easy money that is coming from men. It will come with pain. No pain, no gainful thing that will come without pain. And the pain, unfortunately, might be the diseases that come with sexual interactions. The unprotected babies might come. I know, someone was saying, we can even be able to abort. That can also even come with consequences of infertility, psychological trauma that comes with that. Everything in this life, girls, focus. My heart goes to the families of those two ladies. May God give you comfort and peace. And even the husband on such a girl, my heart goes to him and the family. May you have comfort and peace. And even also to the families that are involved, even the one that maybe so far are not mentioned as we continue following on these stories. Karaoke, whereby we say life is a journey. We discuss life conversations and we have a tagline that we say life is a journey, walk in it, because life gives us a lot. We just need to ask ourselves, how can we make this life a better place and a place that is enjoyable? Wish you all the best. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to Karaoke Moments. If you have, thank you for coming back. Continue commenting, liking our videos, and sharing them amongst your friends and family members. We love you till we get to meet again. God bless. Bye.